Hi, everyone. My name is Marina. I'm the Energy Efficiency and Partnerships Officer here with Clean Energy Fund of Texas. We'll get started here in exactly about 60 seconds. Give some of your industry colleagues in a moment to log on, and then we'll get started. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for being on time. All right, before I hand the mic over to our great partners over at CenterPoint Energy, I'm going to do a quick introduction of Clean Energy Fund of Texas. Clean Energy Fund of Texas, we started about 5 years ago, and we're actually the first nonprofit financing organization doing work around solar and energy efficiency home upgrades. So we typically are able to serve customers across the state, really in a non-credit score model. And you'll learn a little bit more of that towards the end of the call today. Without further ado, I'm going to hand the mic over to Nora Luna and Darren White with CenterPoint Energy. They lead the energy efficiency programs over at CenterPoint.
Thank you so much, Marina. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to attend this meeting. Let's get started. We're going to start with the legal disclaimer. Basically, what the information here says is that the information you're about to hear, it is for now that it is your responsibility to research and to see, because things change within our programs. We do update our portals as needed, so we recommend that you stay updated, but the information that you're receiving right now, it is effective today. Okay, thank you. And then I'm going to move on. Well, our agenda will be a welcome and introduction, a safety share, energy efficiency programs at CenterPoint Energy. I'm going to talk about a couple of residential programs, and then we're going to talk about our Trade Ally program, next steps, and then a Q&A. Okay, welcome and introductions. The members of the CenterPoint Energy, we're going to start with Ana Bascaron. She's not in attendance, but she is the director of the Energy Efficiency Program. We also have LaShawn Johnson, who is the implementation manager. Myself, Nora Luna, I manage the residential standard offer and the hard to reach program. Then Darren White manages the AC tune-up program that we're going to speak about, and Roxanne McFarland, who is our program coordinator for and support for these programs. And from the Clean Energy Fund, we have, who is not in attendance, Billy Briscoe, who is the CEO, Shahara Wright, who is the Senior VP COO, Marina Garcia, Energy Efficiency and Partnership Officer, who is in attendance, and Kaya Wright, Marketing Associate, who is not attending. Okay. And our safety share. Safety is one of our core values here at CenterPoint. In all meetings, we begin after our agenda and disclaimers with a safety share. And the safety share for us for this meeting is sun safety and skin protection. As you're well aware, it gets very hot in Houston, and we need to take proper precautions of our bodies. We need to make sure that we use protective wear, like wear broad hats, sunglasses is very important. Our eyes are also can get damaged from the sun. Wear protective clothing. Avoid, if whenever possible, the sun between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Use sunscreen. Remember that when you're using sunscreen, and that it doesn't stay for all day. You have to reapply, especially if you're out in water sweating. You need to apply it, and about every no about 2 hours. Drink more water. Uh, be reflecting caution. Seek shade whenever possible. If you're feeling a little bit dizzy, down, exhausted, go for the shade and avoid direct sunlight as much as possible. And that is our safety share for today. Okay. Our CenterPoint territory. This is our territory on the right. This is our entire footprint. CenterPoint offers a portfolio of different energy efficiency programs. This includes residential and commercial. Um, the incentives are paid directly to our project sponsors. In this case, it will be you as the contractor. We don't offer direct to residential, direct to customer incentives. Again, these are all paid directly to the contractor or our sponsor. And this promotes grid reliability to avoid the cost of new capacity. Any questions before I proceed? Oh, okay. And if you have any questions, just raise your hand and I will make sure I don't miss you. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is a list of all the programs that we offer here at CenterPoint. We have a list of commercial programs and residential. Right now, we're going to briefly talk we're going to advertise the retail products and services, commercial market transformation, retail products for commercial. Then we also have that for residential and our residential standard offer, which again, we're going to be talking about those programs today. Okay. I will begin with our residential hard to reach and hard to reach standard offer programs. Okay, what is a residential? Yes, this program offers cash incentives to service providers like yourself for the installation and completion of any energy efficiency retrofit projects, installing energy efficiency measures or equipment such as ceiling insulation, HVAC equipment, and other weatherization measures within our service territory. The primary objective of this program is to help our residential customers to live in a more comfortable home and reduce their light bills. So help save our customers. This is open to any we have a list in our program manual of the prescriptive measures that we have set incentives for, but there's a whole array of different measures that we can incentivize as long as they are in the technical reference manual. The technical reference manual is what we call our Bible in energy efficiency. This is established by the PUC, who determines what measures we can incentivize as energy incentive. The sponsors perform energy efficiency upgrades in residential homes. We do conduct inspections. CenterPoint conducts an inspection. In some cases, it's a pre-inspection, and then we do the post-inspection in most cases. And the sponsor will receive the cash incentive directly from CenterPoint. Any questions on this? Okay, so for energy efficiency projects and upgrades in the residential standard offer, as I mentioned, here's a list of our prescriptive measures. It's ceiling insulation, duct sealing, and that's only done on single family projects. We do electric water heat pipe insulation, Energy Star appliances, Energy Star pool pumps. Energy Star pool pumps, it's only on for the residential standard offer. That does not qualify under hard to reach. We do also incentivize Energy Star windows, faucet aerators, and low flow shower heads. And I mentioned those two because those are only for all electric homes. Then we do high efficient HVAC equipment, heat pump and electric water heater, smart thermostats, and window AC units. Key takeaways, CenterPoint Energy encourages the installation of multiple upgrades within a home. You don't have to submit you don't have to submit multiple applications when installing multiple measures. You can submit one application with all the different equipment / measures. Any questions? No? Okay. Project application requirements. Most important, the customer has to be within has to be a CenterPoint Energy customer. And of course, within our service territory, and how you know if it is CenterPoint is when you look under light bill, or there's places online where you can look up the ESID. The ESID will start with 100890. So if their ESID does not begin with 100890, it means that they are not CenterPoint. They're not within CenterPoint Electric Service territory. Okay. It may be any residential site taking service at a meter point of delivery at a distribution level. And we do also multifamily projects. Those require pre-approval. And we would have to review and see what type of measures you install for us to pre-approve, and then you can proceed. Sponsors must provide from the customers a customer acknowledgement form, and has to be, again, signed by the customer. This documentation may be found in the portal. And then if the project is under the hard to reach program, a income eligibility form will need to be completed by the customer. And this is, we have the single and the multifamily income eligibility form, or the E4TX certificate. And that is a form of a geolocation that the government has determined as a qualified, hard to reach qualified. It's a certificate to qualify that residence. The project completion timeline, we expect for all applications to be completed within 30 days. Submit the application within 30 days of completion. You have 30 days from the date that you complete to submit the application to be eligible. Okay, documentations that we require for these applications. So for ceiling insulation, we require before and after pictures, and a installation certificate that it's required to be installed in the attic. And that's in addition. These documentation requirements are in addition to the customer agreement or the income eligibility form. For HVAC equipment, we require the invoice and the AHRI certificate number. For pool pumps, we need the pool pumps, and there's a pool pump submittal form, which also can be found in the portal. And for other equipment not listed here, you would need to just contact me, and I can, depending on the equipment that you're installing, we will provide you a list of the documentation that is required. Any questions? Project application requirements. Okay, so for project inspections, pre-inspection is required on all ceiling insulation, air filtration, and duct efficiency projects. All other measures will require post-inspection only. All inspections are conducted during regular business hours. No inspections are conducted during company observed holidays. Inspection rates for returning, existing participants. And this is for post inspections. This does not include ceiling insulation. Ceiling insulation for multifamily, it's 100%. Air filtration and duct efficiency projects. For any other measure, returning participants, it's 20% of submitted applications. All new participants were required to inspect the first 15 applications at 100%. When you request, and I would like to add this, when you, for a ceiling insulation, for a pre-inspection, if you request an inspection and for some reason our inspection team is unable to attend the inspection, you can proceed. You just need to make sure that you take pictures and videos if possible, and send them to us so we can review and certify or confirm what is the existing R value for the insulation in the attic. Okay. Before I proceed, any questions? Okay. We do our ceiling insulation rates. We have the different rates. On the left, it's in blue. It's for a residential standard offer. On the right, in orange, it's for hard to reach. We do install up to R30. That is the minimum. Then R38 and R49. The insulation rates are based on the existing ceiling insulation. So based on what the inspection team certifies or confirms that it's the R value, existing R value at the home. All ceiling insulation projects must be performed in a centrally air-conditioned homes, and the HVAC unit has to be functional. Any questions? No? Okay. We also incentivize wall insulation. The same applies. On the left, you will see for residential standard offer. On the right, it's for hard to reach. And the rates are based on the current R value and on the electric, if the home is all electric or it's gas or heat pump. And I apologize, I forgot to mention that this also applies to our ceiling insulation. So if it's all electric, gas heating, or it has a heat pump. So the rates are based on that. Other building envelopes incentives. We have air filtration with 10% improvement, 15% improvement, 20%. Then we have duct sealing with the standard approach, alternate approach low, alternate approach average, and alternate approach high. If you're conducting any of these approaches, the low, average, or high, you need to submit your methodology so we can review and approve. And that needs to be submitted to myself, the program manager, and our engineering supervisor, and who is Tim Griffin. And again, the same rule applies here. On the left, residential standard offer, hard to reach on the right. For HVAC incentives, we pay incentives based on, for the AC units, based on the SEER 15.2 to 15.19. We pay one fee, one rate, and then anything above 16, we pay a different rate. And it doesn't matter if it goes up to 17, 18, 19, we're going to pay the same rate. And we have the same applies, a different rate for hard to reach as and residential standard offer. Then for the heat pumps, the same here. We have the rates for depending of the rating, 6.5 to 9 and 9.1 and above. And the minimum rating that we will accept, it is for SEER is 15.2. For HSPF 2, it's going to be 7.5. Room AC change outs must include the entire home. So you would need to, this means that you would need for the different, for the different rooms. Any questions? Okay. The next we have our Energy Star upgrades. We do have for appliances, here are the rates, and then for the Energy Star windows. When submitting any applications for any Energy Star appliance, you would need to go online and obtain the Energy Star certificate and upload it to the application when submitting. For pool pumps. Pool pumps, as I mentioned, this is only done for our RSUP, our residential standard offer, and here are the rates based on the Energy Star tier and the CEE tier. And for other measures for HTR, as I mentioned, faucet areas, low flow shower heads, and I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this, with pipe wrap insulation are only applicable to our hard to reach program. Any questions so far on any questions on the rates? No? Okay. Okay, well, that's all I have for our residential and hard to reach a standard offer. I'm going to turn it over to Darren, who's going to talk to you about Comfort Check AC Tune-Up Program.
Thank you, Nora.
You're welcome.
So we'll dive into just a high-level overview for the Comfort Check AC Tune-Up program. As Nora mentioned, it's open up to all of our customers that are within the CenterPoint Energy territory. For customers served, we're looking residential, single-family, multifamily customers. We're working on our commercial side with schools, businesses, house of worships, strip centers, hotels, etc. when it comes to our commercial customers. For system eligibilities, traditional ACs, your heat pumps, residentials are up to 5 tons, up to 90 tons and over. For commercial units can be a part of the program. And as long as the system is at least 3 years or older in current working condition, and the customer has not participated in the previous iterations of the program within the last 5 years. So we added this slide in here because we show what our previous iterations of the program were, to where we had a single pathway for our tune-ups to be done, requires specialized tools and equipment, an app for that, which was proprietary before. No options were provided to where our technicians could be able to supply repair recommendations to the customers. And we had lots of walkaways that took place. So for this year with 2026, we have 2 different pathways, multiple pathways for our customers via our streamlined service for residential customers to increase that maximum incentive for you. We have our NMV for commercial. Secondary methods, we have a deemed methodology that we also rely on for our residential, and which has some decreased data collection on it, decreased photo documentation. And we have this there to help prevent some of those walkaways that could have taken place, and really look into ways to help improve the customer experience. Some enhancement that we've added on this year is that our job submission form is web-based, which can be entered in from the cell phone, a tablet, or PC, whatever's handy, as long as there is a Wi-Fi to be able to do the job submission there. They can be corrected and updated as needed. So if the form is saved as you go, then you can go back and make changes or updates to it. So it's not always just locked in until the submit button is hit on it. And we also offer an opportunity for our trade allies, our contractors, to make recommendations to customers if they do see that an impending repair is needed, or if there's any other options that could be added on to the customer, that'll be at their cost. So we talk about our participant journey and the project journey for our customers. So once the customer does register for the program, our partner that we work with is just TRC companies. They help us implement the program. They vet the customer through their ESIDs to verify that they have not participated in the program prior to, and they assign it to the trade allies via a secured SharePoint folder that is only accessible by TRC and the particular contractor themselves. The contractor schedules the customer for the tune-up to take place and tracks everything, tracking the documentation, and with the tracking the SharePoint file with the appointment date and time. And once the tune-up is completed, it's submitted into the TRC database so they can begin the QA/QC process on it there, make sure everything is where it needs to be, and then to process it out for payment. Okay. So what's required for our tune-up process? It's checking the thermostats, all the electrical connections, measuring and document the motor voltage and current, checking and lubricating all parts, inspecting the condensate drain, checking the controls, the startup shutdown cycle of the equipment, cleaning those evaporator and condenser coils, the refrigerant level, checking that to make sure, see where they are on the refrigerant. We add in here too that if there's a possibility that the customer does need more refrigerant, then it is at the expense of the customer. It's not a part of the program. Next slide, Nora. Also looking at cleaning the indoor blower fan components, inspecting and cleaning or changing out the air filters there. So if the customer does have a filter on hand, a new one, we actually go and take the time to replace the filter for them. If they do not have one, cleaning it to the best of the ability that we can for the customer, measuring the airflow via the static pressures across the cooling coil, checking in capacitor functionality, and we provide a tune-up checklist that has these exact same processes on there, so you can check it off and leave it for the customer, and even provide some recommendations of what they may want to do in the future if they do need to have some kind of additional services done for their unit. For our incentives, so for our customers, we're looking at for our residential, single family, and multi-family tune-ups. If the customer does need to have a refrigerant charge, we pay out $200 for the single family per unit, multi-family $150 per unit there. If there's no refrigerant charge, that is done, $175 for the single family, $125 for the multi-family. If for some reason that we do have to run it as a deemed version for the customer to where there's less data collection, just not able to fully do the tune-up to its capacity, the single family is $100 per tune-up and the multifamily is $75 per tune-up. For our commercial, one thing new this year is adding in those PTAC units that we have for a lot of the hotels that are in the territory. And so for the PTACs, we're $50 per unit there, and we can just goes down depending on the tonnage that are within the commercial buildings. If fortunate enough to attain a commercial job where they're 90 plus, looking at $1,800 on the units there. And so I'll stop before turning back over to Nora for our Trade Ally program. Any questions in regards to the Comfort Check tune-up? No?
Thank you, Darren. Okay. I'm going to move on to the Energy Connection Trade Ally program. So our this is coming soon. That's something that we're working on. And what is our Energy Connection Trade Ally program? We're building a place where we can support you in boosting your revenue, providing different different things like you can learn about how you can reduce the cost of purchase for customers, making your purchase more attractive and increase sales. You can always use our incentive program as a tool to gain more customers. With our marketing, we're working on having marketing campaigns designed to target our customers that require whatever measure, like ceiling insulation, HVAC, and connect them with our current participants. So that will support in the lead generation of customers. Credibility, being part of our Trade Ally network, you have the opportunity to have your name listed as a participating vendor. So giving you credibility in our territory. And we're also looking in on training and industry insights. It's providing resources, updates, and to be up to date on the needs for whatever market you're in, HVAC or ceiling insulation, weatherization, and we will be working on getting those tools available for you. And another item that we're also working on is on workforce development and support, is working with local agencies to provide training for trade training. So when you hire individuals, they're properly trained, and you can save on that training. So that is what our Energy Connection Trade Ally program is going to look like, and it is coming soon. We're working on it, and it will be up and running before you know it. And that is all I have. Does anybody have any questions on the energy efficiency connection Trade Ally program? Nope. Okay, with that, I am going to turn it over to Mariana. Okay. And then I'll stop sharing, and she's going to share a different. Okay.
Yeah. Can you guys see my screen?
No. Oh, there it is.
There it goes. Thank you so much. CenterPoint is one of our great partners in doing what we do to make sure everyone across Texas and Houston is able to access the energy efficient upgrades to make their home obviously reduce energy, but also make it healthy and more comfortable. How we can work in tandem with the incentive program that CenterPoint Energy provides is really through a financing option. We're not your typical service finance, FTLs, what have you. Really, the goal of our organization is regardless of where customers live, how much income they make, regardless of their credit, we want them to be able to have an opportunity to upgrade their home. So what type of energy solutions we provide? HVAC is a big one. It's about 50% of our portfolio, but we do anything across the board similar to the different energy efficiency programs for CenterPoint. I can finance weatherization, insulation. I can do windows and doors, roofing, anything that's going to help with storm resilience, especially being on the Gulf Coast and during hurricane season, lighting, electrical main panel upgrades, irrigation, septic to sewer, lateral line replacements, health and safety. What does that mean, Marina? It really means things like maybe a mold cleanup or fire restoration, something that has damaged the home, a natural disaster, things like that. I'm going to focus more so today on the HVAC, but if you do dabble in other trades, you're more than welcome to reach out to me and we can talk about what that financing option looks like. But one of the great things about Clean Energy Fund of Texas is that we don't base it on the credit score. I don't even look at it. What we essentially do is what's called cash flow underwriting. right? We assess the homeowner's ability to pay. And how we do that, I'm looking at three key things right now. I'm looking at their DTI, I'm looking at their disposable income, and what we mean by that is after all our bills are paid, any debt is addressed that we pull off the credit report, do they have any money left over to take on an additional loan payment, right? Because if they're in the red at the end of the month, we're not here to make their financial plate even heavier, right? But we will take into consideration, is it a grandmother with custody of her grandchildren who needs a new HVAC? Is it a disabled veteran who hasn't been able to fix his HVAC system? We try to look just beyond the numbers to really make those decisions as well. Our rates right now are averaging between 9 and 12%. 12% is the cap. So even on a borderline customer, I've been here about a year, a little bit over a year. Most of my HVAC loans hover around 10.5%. Highest I've seen was maybe 10.75. Typical term on an HVAC loan is going to be 3 to 7 years, depending on project type, as well as project size, right? If we're doing typically a new replacement, floor replacement, duct work, all that fun stuff, we're probably going to land in the 7 year, right? If we're doing a small tune-up or maybe a heat pump around $6,000, that's probably we're gonna give them an option of a 3 to 5 year term. You as a contractor, I don't charge you a dime. You're never going to pay me a cent to be able to access my financing. There's no quotas you need to meet. There's no minimums. How we keep the lights on for our organization and our nonprofit is we charge a 5.5 project coordination based on the quote amount, and that actually gets paid by the homeowner, and we roll it into the loan as a one-time fee. So essentially, there is no money down. You get paid actually within 5 business days. This is something we've heard from our contractors, Marina. 10 business days is too long. And so really we've been able to speed up our workflows, and you actually right now we're averaging 5 business days is when you will see the ACH deposit in your bank account as a business owner. One of the things that I do like to point out is since we are a smaller organization, we don't do milestone payments. So you get 100% of the cost at the end, at final invoice, okay? So just want to mark that flag right there. So this is typically our HVAC product. Anything and everything HVAC falls under these terms and rates. It starts at about 9.5%, typical 7-year term. The only requirement I have for you as a contractor is the SEER rating for the system. It doesn't have to be a specific brand or anything. I'm not married to Daikin or anything like that. But what I am looking for is at least a 16 SEER 1 system or a 15.2 SEER 2 system or above. And I have an asterisk there intentionally. That's typically what we require. There are opportunities for exceptions. If you give me a technical reason, right? I just did one for a mobile home. Her square footage was 1,300 square feet. It's a mobile home. I understand. I went ahead and allowed that contractor to install a 13 SEER system. Just talk to me. I'm willing to work with you. I'm willing to work with the customer because I also understand that typically a higher SEER system is going to be more expensive than a slightly SEER system. But I also know that 13 SEER system is going to be much more efficient than that 20-year system that's been sitting at that house, right? Lending maximums and minimums. I can lend as low as 3,000, right? So if we're doing a small repair, small tune-up, etc., or even, hey, Marina, the cost of this HVAC replacement's 10 grand, she's covering 7, but she needs to finance the rest. I'm gravy. We're good with that. We can do that. But typically with a single applicant, they will usually get a pre-approval of about 18,000 pending documentation. And if we need to go higher than 18,000 for whatever reason, we do require a co-applicant and able to push that loan maximum up. And like I said, just reiterating, everything is eligible. Heat pumps, duct work, mini splits, heat pump, water heaters, thermostat, zoning, you name it, as long as it's tied to the HVAC system, it's clear for funding, okay? Things to know. Unlike typical lenders, I will finance a mobile home or manufactured housing. They do not need to own the land the mobile home sits on. The only thing that I'm looking for is that that mobile home is permanently affixed to the ground. It cannot be on wheels, okay? Other than that, if they're paying a lot payment, live in a trailer park, I'm good. Just as we review their finances, I'm gonna ask, what is your lot payment, right? I can help you also expand to I-10 homeowners. Maybe they don't have a social security number, but as long as they have the I-10 number, we can use that in place of that social security number. Other great thing is we do soft credit pulls, meaning if you have a customer on the fence, hey, Marina, I have horrible credit, or I'm not sure, everybody else has denied me, I don't want to continue to ding my credit report. We do soft pulls, so it's actually not going to impact their score. We do a hard pull once they actually sign their loan documents and actually secure the financing. So we work a little bit backwards. And like I said, you can stack us with any type of utility incentive like CenterPoint and energy efficiency programs. So what do I need typically to qualify a homeowner? It's pretty straightforward. Photo ID. We don't have photo ID, passport, military ID will work. An energy bill, that's for compliance on our end. And then income verification, we can do it one of two ways. The fast way, if they don't want to go collect pay stubs, is they can connect the bank account where they receive their direct deposit, whether it's from W-2 income or they're retired. I do an asset analysis on the back end, okay? Once I connect to Plaid, I don't need you giving me your pay stubs, but technology is not for everyone and we understand that. And so we can do it the old school way. Typically, I will need about 2 months worth of pay stubs for that specific homeowner on the application. If we're retired, it's just a disability statement, VA statement, what have you. And if that specific customer is technically self-employed or 1099 employee, then I will need 6 months worth of bank statements to prove the income. And then last but not least, I need a voided check or direct deposit form from the account where they want me to draft the payment. I pay you directly, the contractor. Money never actually hits the hands of the homeowner. I'm going to run real quick because I know we're running out of time here. Bear with me. We do commercial as well. So if you have questions on that, you can let me know. If you want to be part of our network, very easy. I will send you guys a link where you guys can upload your company information. And it's going to just require you to upload your HVAC licensing, your TDLR, and then a W-9, general liability insurance, workers' comp if you have it. We then verify all your documents, make sure you're in good standing with TDLR, your business is registered, etc. That typically takes a few hours to verify. Then once I get the green light, I will onboard you as a contractor. So I'm going to stop there and give you guys some time to answer some questions, ask some questions.
Yes, Marina, this is Sam.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi, Sam.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you. First for the training. Do you have any contact information for us to follow up with you later?
Yes. I'm going to put my information in the chat. Let me go ahead and put my name. There's my email address. And then I'm going to give you my phone number. This is my direct work cell, so you can call or text me. 232-660-9064. Yeah. I don't have a limit to the number of contractors I can onboard, so you all are welcome to join. The more the merrier. We're definitely looking to expand. Right now, I have about 235 contractors across the state. I want to say bulk of them are solar. I want to say at least 50% are solar. And I can drop the link in the chat right now, actually, if you guys want to get started. I want to say maybe of the 235, I want to say maybe 40 to 50 are going to be around HVAC. So I'm always looking for, because there are opportunities where a homeowner does find us, either their family uses, their friend uses, or they just did a Google search and they're like, hey, I need a loan to fix my HVAC, but I don't have a contractor. That is a benefit you also get. With us, if I have a lead for you and let's say here in Harris County, and I need you to go service her, she's already pre-approved for finance. I just need you to go give her a quote. And then she picks, I usually give her one or two. And then that homeowner can choose who she wants to move forward with. That I just put a link in the chat. It is a TFA form that has the application for contractors to join our group. And there is no cost to join. Other questions? Yeah, you'll fill out the information. Make sure you upload again your W-9. How else am I going to pay you? Your GLI. Workers' comp, if you have it, it is not required in the state of Texas. And then your HVAC license. That's what I need you to upload. Or you can fill it out now. If you don't have those documents in front of you, I'll probably pester you later tomorrow. Be like, hey, Dwight, send me over XYZ. Again, the verification process, because I have a young lady in the back that'll just make sure you're good with the BBB, you have no litigation against you, etc. Once that clears, she gives me the green light that you're approved. I will reach out both via call and email to schedule your onboarding call. Your onboarding call is virtual, just like today's webinar. It's anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how many people you have on the call, as well as just questions in general. And then after you're done doing your orientation call, you can start submitting applications same day. And yes, this webinar is being recorded. And so we will share out a copy of this webinar out to everyone that was registered. It will also be available in our website, as well as our YouTube channel. Let me list the docs in the chat for you guys. W-9, I need your GLI. I need your HVAC license. Workers' comp. If you have it, it's not required. That's going to be it. Any other questions? Thank you for all the questions, you guys, and thank you for carving time out of your busy schedule. I know a business spending time away from the field is lost revenue, but you're also investing in your business by taking this opportunity to learn on how you can diversify your offerings and revenue streams. Any other questions? I will send out a copy of the deck as well, along with the report. Well, for those that are visual learners or want to go at it at a slower pace, I will add that as well. Okay. Anything from your team, Nora? Any?
I don't have anything. I don't know if Darren has anything to share.
No, I'm good. I'll just say, we thank you all so much for, your time today, like Maureen said, taking some time out of your busy schedules to make the call. For you guys on here, you already know where to find us for sure, with our contact information. So if there's any other questions or anything else that comes up after the call, don't hesitate to reach out to either Nora or myself.
Thank you so much, CenterPoint. We can't do what we do here at Clean Energy Fund of Texas without your support, so we definitely appreciate it. All right, everyone, my information's in the chat. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.